Well, John, pleased with that, a good start?
Yeah, well, look, I said we worked very hard in pre-season. It was, I knew it was going to be a competitive game, an ideal game the week before the start of the league. So we have an awful lot of work to do, but the indications are our fitness levels are okay. We've still to push ourselves a bit more, and but overall, it was a very competitive game, which we expected, and I think probably we were the better team on the day.
You must be pleased with your 7 signings, the way they slotted in and gelled together on the day against what's been the best team in the country for the past 2 years.
Yeah, well, I said that in pre-season that we'd done well, and we played a lot of teams that were in the first division. So I wanted to see how today we'd join up, obviously, and we were a bit rusty in certain things, but I thought a lot of our play, even around the box and stuff, was very good. And when you make that many changes in the team, we'd obviously beat Shep. Mark, he didn't start. Bucks got a knock there a couple of days ago, so he's out. So I really wanted to see the new lads coming in, how they'd cope, and where they were at, and that's why it was great week before the start of the season to test them, to see what level they were at, and because down here you have to be consistent if you want to try and challenge for anything. So early indications are that they'll do fine.
You must be really pleased with the latest addition to the squad. He seems to be a very good performer, young Owen O'Connell.
Owen is a very good player, sure. He's fair to him, he's with Celtic, so yeah, we're very happy to have him, and he's a good lad. But I think overall there's a lot of very strong performances, and I just think that over next number of weeks, if we can get guys to settle in quickly, and that we need it anyway, because we have to start the league and try and stay up there, because if you give Dundalk a head start or they start pulling away from him, it's going to be very difficult. So from that point of view, it was good.
Was it important to beat Dundalk before the season? Just keep.
Really don't know, and I think it was a situation where a lot of people are saying we had never beaten them, whatever, and I wasn't really wound up about it, if I'm being honest, because we've come from nowhere. We did fantastic the first year. Yes, last year they raised the bar and they were better than us, and we pushed them close, but we needed to do a bit of rejig, and it's still the President's Cup before the start of your season, so I wouldn't be getting too carried away, because we have a lot of stuff to do, and you could see fitness levels. A lot of the lads were tiring with 20 minutes to go and 25 minutes to go, but I suppose it's a good indicator, and it shows that if we gel, we can probably push Dundalk, push Rovers, and that's what we're hoping to do.
But there's not a huge number of teams who dominate Stephen O'Donnell in midfield the way you did today.
Yeah, I suppose. Look, it was pleasing that we did good, and we were our movement was good, and we were quick, and we created a good few chances, and that was good. But it's the week before the start of the league, which is a marathon. So I'm around too long to know that there's a lot of long way to go. But it's pleasing that we had so many new players in. They've gelled quickly, and it's just important that we can manage them and push them on and get our fitness levels up more. And as I said, I always felt in pre-season that I always felt there's goals in this team. I think creating chances, there's a lot of chances in the team, and I feel that I felt that from pre-season, and the indication are today is that there are goals in the team, which is good.
So what does Sean Maguire bring that you wouldn't have had last year?
Well, look, I think to be fair to Mark, Mark has been phenomenal for us over 2 seasons. A fella coming out of junior football, and I think that because of John Cotter, possibly myself, we're probably the only people that he probably could have got to at this stage. But what he did was remarkable. But he's ran a lone show 2 years, and Danny's been injured for 2 seasons. Thankfully, he's back in the mix. Some of the other lads are with us. Rob found it difficult last year, Rob Lehan, so we didn't really have that option. So Marky was doing that. All of a sudden, Shawnee gives us options up top, and he's young, he's eager, he's hungry, and he's a different type of player. And we've Shep that can play there, and thankfully Danny is back in the fold. So it takes the pressure off Mark, and it spreads around that we have more options, and that's what you need to have.
How about John was it to score first today?
Well, I suppose
Give it the impetus
we started the game quite well, I felt, but then at the same time, we had the ball cleared off the line, they had an opportunity, we were a bit sloppy at the back, and they had an opportunity, and it was probably the real chance. But yeah, I suppose scoring first probably meant that they came out a bit more, and I think the game opened up, and so it probably was important for us to score first. It's hard to know. We know if we were 1 down, but I think overall, I think it was just really looking at where we're at, where the team are at, where the new players are at, and you know, I'm reasonably happy that with the work they've done in pre-season, that we could shape up to be a seriously good team. You know, which I'm hoping we will.
Were you surprised that Top 5 State became there just before half time?
No, not at all. You know, I said we knew the Dundalk team 4 days ago. We told the lads who they were going to play, knew exactly they were going to be at their strongest 11, and you know, obviously Stephen is proud of the record that we hadn't beaten them, and as he said himself on many occasions last year's President's Cup was a launch for them to drive on, so we knew that, and but you know, obviously we were ahead. You know, they were, you know, you could see they were unhappy because we were on top of them and they were getting. You know, some of the players were beginning to lose the cool, and you could see that. It was important for me to make sure that we kept our cool, because I didn't want our fellas to get sucked into that, because you know they're well able to control the game and ref the game, and I didn't want our boys to get moved into that. But you know, being competitive and being feisty, I expected that. You know, so but look, I thought overall, you know, it was well controlled, well handled. The referee used common sense on a lot of occasions, even though I suppose on another day they may have had 3 sent off. You know, but you know, look at the most important thing for us is that, you know, we look after ourselves and we keep our cool and keep our discipline. Our discipline has been really good last year, and I want to keep that this year.
You seem to be playing a lot higher tempo than last season. It started off.
Yeah.
Had you worked on that pre-season?
I would have the players. Like it's, you know, it's easy to, you know, people say, you know, this and that. Like last year we had many options. You know, up top, Mark Iran and Onshaw on the wings with very little competition. You know, so we've tried to address areas that, you know, bolster midfield, bolster the wings, bolster up front, to make us more dynamic, have more pace about the team. And so when you have players that have that pacing and change the game, you know, that speed over 5-10 yards, it changes your team. You know, so we deliberately went for players this year that we feel that can turn the game, and I think that's the reason why we are. And if we didn't do that, as we saw last year, we won't compete with Dundalk. So we needed to change and bring that type of player into our team. And the good thing now, I think all of a sudden we have competition in a lot of those places, which is important. So while we're playing at a higher tempo, I think that's because we have players who can do that. You know, and maybe last year we weren't able to do that. Certainly weren't able to do it on a constant basis. So I think that's why that's really why we targeted to bring those guys in this year.
Gary Buckley really out for Friday, John.
Yeah, Gary, unfortunately,
What's the injury?
bloody hell, he got a knock on his knee, and it was funny because we've gone through 7 weeks of pre-season, and I blame myself because last Monday at training we had everyone training bar John Kavanagh. I was saying Cots isn't a fantastic first week, going into our first game with everyone to choose from, and someone gives him a kick in the bloody knee, and then it swells up Tuesday and Wednesday. So I don't know, he's getting a scan, it's quite swollen, so I'd say he certainly wouldn't make next Friday, you know. But and Kevin O'Connor then had a reaction during the week, and Mark, he had a knock, but I think
a bit of a setback, is it?
who?
Yeah,
John
Cav.
Kavanagh.
Well, our Cava's a bit, to be honest with you, I just feel John Kavanagh will be back for the second half of the season. That's what I was looking at him, could be back for then. He's a bit of work to do, but had a very serious injury, but he's working hard to get back. But for me, it's the second half of the season I need him back for.
Do you think the league's between you two?
Well, I think the team that's ahead of Dundalk will win the league. But at the same time, Rovers are the same team as they had last year, brought 1 or 2 in up top, and you know, Pat's a very dogged manager and has won a lot, so you'd expect Rovers to be there. Pat's again, like ourselves, have brought a lot of new players, so it'll be interesting to see how they get on. Both have kept most of their team from last year, so you know, they're a good chance. And it's hard to know where Sligo and Derry are because they've made so many changes. But certainly you'd say the outset that, you know, if us or Rovers are ahead of Dundalk or Pats, we'd expect you to win the league, and that's the way I look at it anyway.
Owen, pleased with that, obviously. A victory and a good first game of the season.
Yeah, delighted, you know what I mean. It's obviously Friday's the first league game, but today was a good chance to kind of set a marker down and show of, you know, what we intend to do for the season. I think we did that.
And happy with, 7 new players in the team, seem to gel very well.
Yeah, I think so. I think, you know, like I've only been here obviously kind of 10 days now, but everyone's kind of gelled well from what I've seen, and everything in training is going very well. So I think we just put it together today well.
1 game in and 1 trophy. Couldn't have asked for any more, I suppose.
Yeah, you know, I suppose, you know, it's ideal, and And I thought we formed very well today, passed the ball very well at times, and showed how good a team we are. You know what I mean?
Right, next week obviously the league will be a total different scenario.
But I think that's obviously the biggest game now is the next one, and Friday's the first game of the league, and hopefully the cross will be packed and we'll be ready to go.
Do you think that Dundalk are missing Tao?
To be honest, I didn't really see them play when he played with them, so I only seen a couple of games they played Cork City, but he showed last year how good a player he is, so top scorer in the league, but they're obviously going to miss him.
Are you impressed with the setup over here since you came over from Celtic?
Oh yeah, definitely. I knew before I came in that the facilities of Cork City have it probably up there with the best in the league. And all you can ask is, be professional, be as professional as you can. And Cork City are, from everything I've seen, the facilities are up there with the best.
Have you noticed any differences within the 90 minutes now between England, Scotland and the standard here now? Well, I know it's not a League of Ireland game, but a League of Ireland-esque game.
Yeah, well, I've not really played right back much more, to be fair, in kind of Scotland and stuff, so it's obviously different, because you're going up and down, where centre-half's more moving across and talking, but, Cork City and Dundalk first and second last year, two of the best teams, so it's obviously going to be a high-quality game, and it was early on, you're going for it when you're playing right back, there's a lot of sprints and stuff, so it's just about getting your second win, but the pace of the game is very high, definitely.
On the talking front, there seems to be a lot of good interaction between the season players, including yourself, who's just in, a lot of talking going on the pitch.
Yeah, I think that's a must, you know what I mean, especially when you're playing against a good team like Dundalk. You need to communicate and help each other out in the pitch, and I thought we did that very well, and that's, as I said, a huge part of the game.
And obviously pleased with your own ball in from Maguire's goal.
Yeah, I've just said it to a few of the lads, I wouldn't be much of a kind of a crosser of the ball, centre half playing right back, but Garrod just said it nice to me, and I thought, why not put it in first time, and lucky just went on to Shawnee's head.
You're glad to be back in Cork, obviously, because you could have ended up in Norway by all accounts.
Delighted, yeah,
With the loan deal, like.
Yeah, there was talks of going abroad, but as soon as John came in, this is the only place I wanted to come, and it was the move that made the most sense for me. I'm back living at home, enjoying my football, and couldn't ask for any more.
When the 6 months are up, I think you just about make the Europa League matches. Is there any possibility of trying to get it extended for the rest of the season?
I think we'll come to that when it's at the end. But there's a lot of things that affect me next season in terms, because it's an overlapping season and stuff like that. So we'll just see when it comes to it. But I don't know.
You have 2 years to run on your contract at Celtic, as it is.
Another year after a year and a half now. Yeah.
I see Val, you were saying the other day that he thought it was one of the best pre-seasons that he's done with City this year. Do you think that based on training and playing, that you think that the attitude was great in the camp?
Oh, brilliant! Yeah, I obviously missed a lot of the pre-season where the lads kind of did all the hard work. I came in near the end when we were kind of just fine-tuning towards the games and stuff. But the work the lads have put in, from what I've been talking to them, has been immense, and the attitude and training every day is 100% and very good. So that's a huge thing as well. You know what I mean? You need to train hard, and everyone knows that.